Hey guys, welcome back to another video by jmadden184, and to all my new subscribers, a big welcome to my channel. Here it is now, coming at you. It's week 10, day number 70 since redoing the tank, and it's doing really well. A couple changes going on. Had to redo some of the rock work on the left side of the tank. I'll get into the reasons of that here shortly. Also, I got a couple new corals. There's a new fish in here, which I'm pretty excited about. Not 100% for certain if I'm going to be keeping him or not, but we'll see how he does. Had to redo the rock work on the left side of the tank. This area here. As you guys know, in the past, this is where the clownfish, had their frog spawn that they were just in love with. Had to redo the rock work. Reason for that was, make this real short story here, I've been finding more of those polyclad flatworms down here in the refugium, just in this little spot here. I'm always opening up the sump area here and kind of checking on the skimmer, looking at things, and right here, just in this little opening, I found another polyclad flatworm. It was about 4, maybe 5 inches long. Pulled it from the tank. 2 days later, there was another one there. So that makes a total of 4 so far out of the system. And just yesterday, I was feeding the fish, and I have a porcelain crab that used to live underneath the rock over here. Gave it a piece of silver side, and what comes out of the rock over here? Another polyclad flatworm, a pretty big one. It was about 5 inches or so, and it just stole the food from the crab. And I just had enough of it, so the rock that made up the left side here of the tripod, as I was calling it, I took it out, went ahead and I soaked it in RODI water real quick, dipped it a couple times, and then I took a hammer and a screwdriver and broke the rock into 4 separate pieces, and I was able to locate the worm, which was dead. Took it out. In the process, of course, I lost some copepods, a couple bristleworms, but it was worth it to get that worm out. So I went ahead and took that rock and kind of made a interesting little structure here. Not sure why you can see it, but very minimal amount of it contacting the sand bed. As you can kind of see there, it goes over, comes up here, and it attaches up there. So it's kind of a cool design. Here it is from the side. It's a little bit more open, aquascaping here. I like the way it looks. So that being said, here, one of the little corals I forgot to mention in the last update is the dendros. They're closed up right now. They're more of a nighttime feeder, but when I do feed the tank, the fish and stuff, they tend to open up. I got a couple new corals in here. First one is this one here. I got this, some type of Monipora. I forget the name of it, but it's a plating type. $15, can't beat it. Give it a try, see how it does. The other SPS in here are just thriving and growing like crazy, so if I could start adding some more SPS pieces. Here's another one over here on top of this rock. This one's actually pretty cool. I'm not sure how well the camera's going to pick it up, but it's got a purple rim on it. It's kind of a greenish color, and it's got purple polyps. This green one over here also has a sort of semi-purple rim, which is pretty neat. There's some up here, the Montipora capricornus in the back. You can see all the new growth. That bright red is all new growth. The acra on the right side usually has its polyps out, but right now they're not for some reason, but the polyp extension is really good, and the growth on this thing is just amazing. It's pretty much almost fully encrusted over the glue that I used to put it in place. It was just kind of interesting because usually that's what grows first, but this thing just sprouted in all directions first, and then it started really starting to encrust. So good, healthy piece there. The spongiodes doing good too. Nice red polyps. They're just big, happy. Since I'm over here, the calistria, the trumpets are doing really good. Polyps are big and fat, splitting. You can see the second mouth there on that one. Getting more defined. It's great. And as you can see, the clownfish are kind of ticked off that their frog spawn is gone, but at night they actually just are hosted by this rock at night. They kind of just ball up together and swim around in one spot. Bubble coral is doing good. Clams doing good. Acan echinata on the left, almost fully recovered, growing back over the skeleton there, so that's a really good sign. One of the new corals you'll see is here. I got another blastomussa. This one's a Wellesley also. Red, purple, green center. This one's from Australia. The acans are all doing absolutely amazing. I mean, just look at them. This one's huge. These are all looking good. What I was talking about before of this orange one here in the back, I'll try and get a shot for you. Previous videos I was talking about all the babies that are growing on it. If you look right there, you can see all the baby polyps. I counted them when I was moving them around, and there's 10 new ones growing, so that's pretty insane, but awesome. These candy canes are doing really well. These acans are also growing fast, getting fatter. This one here, I'm not sure if you can tell in the video, just the color is kind of getting messed up here, but the dark regions on that acan are actually, see if we can get it here. Yeah, a little pull back, you can kind of see it's darker around the green. That's actually red, which is a big change from when I got it, seeing how it was all green and gray. Lobo's doing really good. It's clownfish hanging out. Tyree toadstool growing like a champ. Paleothea grandis doing good. These blastomussa Wellesley, doing a little bit of research on them, trying to figure out exactly what kind they are. Leaning towards more of an Indonesian species, but I'm not 100% for certain on those, but they're growing, doing really good. Duncan's up here. Had to move them over a little bit, of course, because when I re-aquascape the left side, you know, nothing goes back exactly the way it was, so those are doing good. Coming on down, the Scalimia australis is doing really good, big and fat. Notice the bubble coral's gone. Yeah, you know, from the last video, it didn't look too good, and just within a couple of days, it was just gone. Just nothing left. So that's unfortunate. Got another little scully here. This one is just a fraction of the size of the larger one, but it's more of an orange color. The one in the back is more of a red. The orange one, the way it opens up at night is just crazy. The feeder tentacle extension on it. Maze brain is doing really good. A little more blue showing up on the tops of the ridges. Chalice up here is doing great. Not really seeing like new growth, but it's just getting fuller and fuller, much fatter. I think once I can get it to actually take some food, it will start growing more. Tyree blue chalice, lots of new growth. I mean, the whole left side there, from where those little mouths are out, is all new growth all around the whole thing. Trichophilia radiata, huge as usual. And this one here, the orange torch, is just doing great. You know, ever since I started giving it little bits and pieces of silver side, it's just really got large, nice and full. All the mushrooms here are doing great. Couple little tiny zoanthids right there, growing in the middle. See how they do. This one here is just the Symphilia wilsoni. Not really getting any worse, but not getting any better still. Still eating, still feeding, still nice and fat, so time will tell. Candy canes here doing good, getting huge. Lobophilia is doing really well. And since we're over here, here's the new fish in the tank. A really small, I mean, I'm talking like a little baby white striped maroon clownfish. Saw this guy the other day, and he was hosted in this rose bubble tip anemone that was like no larger than him at the store, and I was like, you know what, I need to have that. So I put him in here. A lot of people say you shouldn't mix clownfish species, but this one here is like a fraction of the size of my onyx perks, and He hangs out over here in these anemones, plenty of cover and hiding, as the perks don't even come near these anemones. You know, he stays over here, and they stay over there for the most part. And there hasn't been any aggression with them. Oh, here he comes. Hasn't been any aggression between them, you know, just very passive with one another. So we'll see what happens. Not 100% for certain if I'll keep them or not. You know, we'll see how it goes. Oh, he goes up there and hides. Pretty curious little guy. Overall, I like him. Clownfish's frog spawn is over here now. This one is doing good. This is the one that was sitting on the left side. The one up there is the one that I fragged off, and it's doing just fine. Favia's doing good. No complaints. If you recall in that video I made, this little piece right here that I was wondering what it was. I don't know if you can see in there, but it's purple and got some pink little tips on it. It's starting to grow. Now there's 4 dots instead of 2. And here's the other one that I didn't mention. If you look on the right side of the screen there, just in front of that Aptasia, you'll see it. The same thing growing. It's kind of in like a V shape, and that one also has 4 little dots, so I'm not sure what that is. So if anyone knows, you know, let me know. Pulsing Xenia doing really good. Duncan's just getting bigger as usual. The hammers calmed down a lot since moving the Favia out of its super tentacle range. It's looking good and healthy. The gold tip torch is also doing really well. So yeah, you also notice in here, if you look at the back of the glass, you know, I'm not sure if I want to go ahead and scrape it, but the coralline algae is just exploding. It's taking off. I've noticed this about, you know, tanks usually after, as soon as you hit like the 2-month mark, that's when your coralline algae really starts going crazy. So for those of you that are just starting up systems and a little bit anxious for your coralline algae, just give it some time. It'll come in full force and you're gonna be busy scraping a lot. I got a couple minutes left here to bring it down to the sump. Sump's doing really good, you know, no complaints. I just cleaned the skimmer out before I made the video, so it's not producing at the moment. But what I'm really producing now is the Chaetomorpha is growing like crazy. I just reached in here yesterday and, you know, I just grabbed this out and it's just so full of life and just massive. I mean, this mat is like tightly packed. I don't know if you can see it, but it comes all the way down to there, all the way across in the back. So, you know, once again, Macro Grow Light by JBJ, getting it done, making it happen. So yeah, guys, you know, just another update showing you all what's going on with the tank. Everything is doing really well. If you guys got any questions, comments, or concerns, you know, let me know. If you like my videos, give it a quick like. Appreciate all the comments that you guys give me. Stay tuned for another update within the next week. This is jmadden184's signing out. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And happy reefing, guys. Take care. Have a good one.